Hey everyone, and welcome. So today, we are diving into the world of ant keeping. And it's actually surprisingly simple and, well, fascinating. If you've ever been kind of curious, but also maybe a little intimidated by the whole idea, then you have come to the right place. Let's jump right in.
So let me ask you, has the thought ever just popped into your head? You see these tiny little ants marching along, so determined, and you just wonder, what would it actually be like to have a little window into their world? Maybe you've seen a cool video online and thought, wow, that looks amazing, but then immediately thought, I would have no idea where to even start.
Well, listen, if that sounds familiar, you are definitely not alone. Starting any new hobby can feel a little overwhelming, right? And ant keeping is no different. But here's the thing. The truth is, it's way, way simpler than it seems.
Okay, so first things first, let's clear something up. What is this hobby really all about? I'm guessing it's a lot simpler than you think.
Okay, so at its heart, ant keeping isn't really about doing much at all. It's about watching. Think of yourself as a quiet observer. You're just providing a safe little home for a colony, and in return, you get this amazing front row seat to watch their incredible natural world just unfold. This right here, this is a really important mindset shift. You're not training them like a dog, right? You're not trying to control their every move, and you're definitely not trying to force them to grow faster. Nope. Your job is just to watch, provide the basics, and then get out of the way and let them do what they already do so well.
And that's really the whole key right there. Ants have been building these super complex societies for millions of years. They've got it figured out. Your job is just to be, well, a good, stable landlord for their tiny little world.
Okay, so if it's all that simple, why do so many of us hesitate to start? Let's talk about it. We're going to tackle the common fears that pop up for pretty much every single beginner. And trust me, it is so normal to have these worries.
Do any of these sound familiar? That little voice in your head saying, what if I mess it all up? Or the anxiety that you're just going to be staring at a box of dirt? Or maybe just the feeling that you don't know enough to even begin? Yeah, these are easily the biggest hurdles for new keepers.
Let's zoom in on that big one right in the middle, the fear that you'll get everything set up perfectly. You're all excited, and then crickets, nothing. You'll just have a box of ants doing, well, absolutely nothing.
So here's the truth. The reality is ant colonies have quiet days. In fact, they have a lot of them. Slow growth, not much activity, that's a completely normal part of their life. Honestly, a calm colony is usually a happy colony. So it almost never means you're doing anything wrong.
And I love this quote because it just captures the idea so perfectly. That feeling of self-doubt, it's totally normal. But here's the secret. If you're just providing the basics, you're already doing a great job. Seriously, you are probably succeeding way more than you think you are. All right, so if you don't need to be some kind of expert, what do you actually need to get started? Let's break it down into a super simple, totally manageable checklist.
First up, and this is a big one, a core principle. This is a hobby where less is definitely more. Constantly messing with things, overfeeding, poking and prodding, all that stuff just stresses a colony out. The best approach? It's almost always gentle care and doing, well, as little as possible. Believe it or not, it really just boils down to these three things. That's it. Number one, a secure habitat, so they can't escape. Number two, a stable spot to keep it, somewhere away from lots of vibrations or direct sunlight. And number three, the most important tool in your kit, just a little bit of patience. That's it. That is the whole foundation.
And speaking of that habitat, getting one that's designed for beginners makes things so much easier. They're built to be escape-proof, they give you these great clear views for just watching, and they don't have some complicated setup. They basically let you focus on the fun part, which is watching your colony thrive.
All right, let's bring it all home. We're going to see how all of this adds up to a really calm, enjoyable experience. The main thing I want you to take away from this is, you've got this. You absolutely have what it takes.
So let's be super clear about what you don't need. You don't need to be an expert biologist. You don't need some fancy lab with perfect conditions, and you for sure don't need to rush the process. Think of it like a marathon, not a sprint. This quote, man, it just perfectly captures the soul of this hobby, doesn't it? The real reward doesn't come from doing complicated stuff. It comes from the simple things, being patient, staying curious, and just watching. It's all about appreciating the tiny, amazing details of their world. And maybe the most important thing of all,
Just give yourself permission to be a beginner. It is totally okay to learn as you go. I promise you, every single experienced ant keeper out there started in the exact same spot you are right now, with one queen and a whole lot of questions.
So with all that in mind, there's really only one question left to ask. Now that you know it's less about complex science and more about calm observation, are you ready to start your own amazing journey into the world of ants?